Hi, welcome back to Ethical and Faithful Hacking. Today we're going to look at device configurations. So these are hacking devices that we'll be using on our systems, and specifically we're going to be using the ATTiny85 by Digispark. So let's go ahead and get started. So with this, we have the ATTiny85 by Digispark. There's some prerequisites for this, some stuff we need to do. First of all, we need to add ourselves to the dialout group, log out and log back in. So when you go through that and you want to add yourself in like that, you can go through and grep dial out with etc group to see if you're already in there. I'm actually already in there. So if we look at that, you'll see your name show up there with dial out. And actually that's only needed if you're not running as root. If you're running as root, don't worry about it, right? But we normally will be using this as a user account. So we'll need to go through and select dial out like that. Now once we do that, we do need to log out and log back in. I'm already in there, so I don't need to do that. If you are logging out, logging back in, then come right back over to 1 minute in the video and we'll get going from there. So next thing you need to do is go over and change these rules right there for Micronucleus. With the Micronucleus device, we want to be sure that device is detected when we plug it into the system. Now this is a little weird, right? It's one of those things like, well, of course it's detected when you plug it into the system. Well, this thing right here will make sure it's detected when you plug it in the system. And the number right here, the 49, is just a number that's along the rules. So if we look along the rules right there, you can see where you've got different numbers in there. We're just going to do the 49 for the Micronucleus rules. So sudo vi, go into that. Inside of that, you're going to add this line, and this is all copied into the what's it called? Description. This is all in the description for the YouTube video there, so you can look in the description and see that. I'll make it a little smaller so it looks less intimidating. That's it right there. So we have the subsystem USB, we have the idVendor, the product, the group, and the mode right there. This right here is just a comment, and I put that comment in so I'd know where I saved it if I ever looked at it in the future or ever grepped for it, and it would come up. So I know there's several different ways of doing that. Next, once we've done that, we need to activate those rules. So going through and using the udev administration, we'll go through and reload the rules, and after you reload the rules, then we'll go back through and we'll trigger. So go through and we'll do the trigger. All right, so everything should be good right now. It should be all ready to detect a device that gets plugged into your computer. Now for me, I'm having to use a little USB extension wire, and the reason I'm having to do that is because the ATTiny85 does not fit into my laptop tightly enough in order for it to be recognized and to work. So you may need to do that. So let's go ahead and get Arduino. I think we can get Arduino now, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and get Arduino. So if we go over and look for Arduino, we can click on that right there, and we can do the downloads, the 236. We got the Windows, Linux, and Mac. I'm using Linux here. I'm going to use the app image because the app image works great with Linux. I'm going to use just download right there. Don't join a newsletter. Just download the crazy thing. And there it is, right? So I download the that image right there. So I'm going to save this for everybody. I'll put this in the description as well, so everybody will have that in their description for this build. So you'll all have that right there. Next, we're going to need to grab this, and that's once again in the description of the YouTube video. So we'll need to grab this right here, and we'll need to put this into Arduino. So once we start Arduino up, so let's go over and start this thing. Let's say cancel. There we go. So we got Arduino, and we go through and just say new sketch, bring it up, close that one. Go ahead, close. Don't save there. Don't save. No. All right. So you start Arduino up, and it kind of looks like this. You're going to need to go over to File, Preferences, and then additional boards manager right there. In the additional boards manager, you're going to need to put in our new board, which is the ATTiny right there. Now, I'm going to give you all of those right there, so you'll have all those in the description. And not that you need all of those, but those are the ones that I'm using in different hacking classes, and hopefully we'll be able to use them in this class, so we'll have these used inside of the class that we're doing this semester. But for right now, you just need this one. I'll give them all to you so you can get that. Once you do OK, and choose OK, and it'll download. I should mention, I'm using the dark theme here, so over there, I don't like staring at a flashlight for 10 hours a day, so I use the dark theme. That way I'm not staring at a flashlight, which is also called a computer monitor, and that is a lot easier on your eyes. The interface scale right there, where we have the 100% or whatever you want for that. If you need to adjust the scale, please feel free. I'm going to choose OK. If anything needs to be downloaded, it will be downloaded now. All right, so now we go over to Tools. We'll choose the Boards Manager. So go over to Tools, down to the Boards Manager, and in Boards Manager over here, you're going to type ATTiny. When we find that ATTiny, go down to find ATTiny Core right there, and you're going to download the latest one, which it always defaults to the latest one. It's great. Just go ahead and grab that one and choose Install. You don't need to install these others. Just choose this one to install, and you'll be good to go. So we'll get that thing and get that all set up. So now once we have the board installed, we have that set, let's go over to the Tools, go over to Programmer, and we're going to choose Micronucleus for the programmer here. So for those of you who have done this 1,000 times, I know this is a little bit slow. For those of you who might be doing this for the first time, it might be, oh my goodness, this is so fast I can't keep up. Please feel free to pause at any time. And so you choose the programmer Micronucleus, and after choosing that, we go over to the clock controls, and we choose the 16 megahertz no USB. That seems to work about the best. So 16 megahertz no USB. And once you've got that selected, then we should be pretty much good to go. So over here, if this is the first time using Arduino, you've got two settings in Arduino. Well, two primary areas where all of your programming happens. The first part here is your void setup code. This is it runs once. This only runs one time. It sets up the device, sets the pins, whatever it needs, it gets it all configured. The second part is the part that runs repeatedly over and over again. So if you're running a website, this will be dishing out the web pages to a person. We're going to use a blinking light today, so it'll be blinking a light, that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and move forward with that, and we're going to use an example. So over here we got some examples, and there are a bunch of examples. Let's go down to ATTiny Core, see what we got. That temperature read, how about that? Got a bunch of little things in there. That's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and use basics and go over to Blink. So I chose examples, basics, go to Blink. Once you choose that, it will open up a new window because that's what it does. This right here where you see that slash asterisk and then asterisk slash, that right there is a comment. Now, there you go. Those comments are useful, and if you ever wanted to look through them, then you can go through and look through the comments and see what that says about the board in there. In this case, it's telling you that the people who modified this and who set it up the first time. And I'm just getting rid of the comment to make this a little easier to read. That's the only reason there. Now the first part, void setup. What we're doing is setting the pin mode for built-in LEDs and output right there. So initialize the digital pin LED built-in as an output. So we do have a digital pin and it's called LED built-in, and we're setting that up as an output. Good enough. The loop function runs over and over, and so we're going void loop, and the first thing we're doing is we're saying, okay, LED built-in, set your setting to high right there. So we define it as high. Then we're going to delay this. I tell you what, 1 second is a long time. So 1,000 milliseconds right there. So let's do 100 milliseconds. And so it has high right there and low. And low means off. So if you have high, that's on. Low is off right there. And if you change that delay to 100 milliseconds, then that's just going to make it a faster blink. So let's go ahead and get ready. I'm holding my little USB extension wire, which if you need one of those, you can go to Amazon and just do a USB extension wire. And just get one of these, right? Something like this. They're great little devices. This is a USB 3 one. I'm using a USB 3 one that's braided, and it allows me to connect this to my laptop a lot. That's just a lot more solid than my laptop is, so you might need that. And I should have mentioned that you do not plug this in yet. So don't plug it in yet. Just get it ready to plug in. Do not plug it in yet. I mean, it's not all that important that you have it ready to plug in because it gives you a minute, right? So you have an entire minute to do it. But, you know, why wait? So over here, let's go ahead and choose upload. It's not plugged in. And what it's doing right now is it will tell us, please plug in the device. So let me grab this USB cable. And on the USB cable, I'm going to plug in this little device. All right, I plugged it in. It sees the device. It uploaded everything, and now I have a rapidly blinking red light on my device. So that thing is blinking really fast. Okay, if you can see that right there, that is my rapidly blinking device. Okay, what to do if your device is not blinking. If it didn't work, be sure you have a good, solid connection into your computer, because that was my problem. It just would not, it still came on when I plugged it in the side of my laptop, but it just wasn't good enough, and I had to get this USB extension cable and plug that thing in. The other is reboot your computer so that all those rules take effect, just in case they didn't take effect. If you're running Linux, reboot that thing and get that going. If you want to be using VirtualBox or VMware to do this, then be sure you select the USB where that device is located. Okay, that is it for this class. We are going to go ahead and stop here to avoid this getting too long. And next, we will look at payloads. So we'll look at different payloads for your ATTiny85, which is we're using like a USB RubberDucky. But in any case, hope that this is helpful, and I look forward to talking to you on the payload section.